It seems I can never stick to the same skin in every single video, so I'm here in like my oldest skin in Minecraft. But anyways, I have an announcement for you guys before we do this video. Search Planet Minecraft on the web, and then you'll see my new skin has been uploaded to Planet Minecraft. It is a schoolgirl I made based off an image, and I like the color palette and stuff. And if you want to see it in action more, here's the thing sitting, here's it aiming a bow, here's it swinging at you. But yeah, feel free to check it out on Planet Minecraft. You can do as you wish with that information. Anyways, let's get to today's video, shall we? Welcome, my friends, to top 5 building hacks that I will be showing you for any kind of build you want to do. So my first hack is right behind me, and as you can see, one is different from the other. I'm trying to make you guess before saying it. Okay, if you haven't noticed, this is behind. The inner walls are behind, and this adds more depth to the build itself. And on this one, as you can see, it's flat. You can't add any details. But my point being is that if you move the inner walls back and make the frame on the exterior, you can add more details to the frame itself to make the build look a lot better. So for example, instead of making a wall with this filled in, you make a wall with the white wool behind like this, and as you can see, you can add more details just by adding that little bit of detail. And I use this on most of my medieval builds, but this can apply to really any build possible, just to add more details and to really like show depth in the build as well. So just keep this in mind when you are building. Now, tell me 2 differences you see between the two. Yep, you got it. If you said that the floor is different, or the outside area is a bit different, and that the walls are different, then you are correct. So, basically, the memo is don't use one block. Use many blocks that you can use. So in this sort of style, I use these 4 blocks that complement each other in order to make that wall look more detailed than it really is. If you do something like this, on the other hand, as you can see, it can be pretty plain and boring. And the same applies for the grass as well. I added these blocks to the grass to just make it a bit more interesting and have more contrast between like the grass around the houses. And this can apply for gardens or anything. But yeah, the memo is just try to find blocks that complement each other and use more than one block to build a wall, for example. This is especially good for like big builds that are not as modern and like more torn down and stuff. This is for like older styled builds as well. But I would recommend using just an arrangement of blocks that you can use over one block, just to see the difference. It makes a very immense difference. So yeah, anyways, to put it short, this better than that. This one is a very minor one, but it does make a difference, and that is try to refrain from using glass blocks, especially when a wall is looking flat like this. You want to refrain from using solid glass blocks on flat surfaces. If it's more like dimensional, let's say, then yes, it can have these, but otherwise just use panes. I see a lot of people do this and I have no idea why, but in this case panes would be preferred, because as you can see, it adds more depth to build, as from here it just makes it look completely flat compared to what it could have been. And this is sadly something that triggers me, especially as a builder, seeing people do this. So yeah, just be careful what builds you use solid glass blocks in, And if you are using solid glass blocks, here's a good example of it right here, because as you can see, it's a more modern example of it. It's a way to divide a house up, and it's a way to see into the house as well. It's just a cool sort of modern house design. But yeah, you can see on the other parts of the build though, I did indeed do more panes because it just added more depth to the build. And depth is important when building bigger in Minecraft and also smaller, because you want to add as much detail as possible. And this is a great example of what to do and what to avoid. Now imagine you have a landscape that looks a million times better than this, and you light it up like this. Honey, no. No. This is not allowed. No, I'm not allowing this to happen. Anyways, if you didn't get the hint on this, I'm basically teaching you how to strategically light up builds like this. Like, for example, how to light them on walls, how to light them in grounds and stuff. So basically, if you have a landscape build, you want to hide the light source and make it more ambient. But if it's survival, well, just hide it under moss carpets or anything really. So as you can see, you can place a torch underneath carpets so that it prevents it from looking bad, and at the same time it also adds light to your build. Now for walls like this, don't do this. Don't give me a heart attack. Come on. Place the torches nicely. Make your builds look inviting. Like for example, you can go like this, or on this building you can even do it separately, or even do it above. But please, for the life of you, do not spam torches. And I've seen this a lot, especially on the phoenixmc server in season 1. Oh god. I saw it like all over the place, not just one place. I'm even guilty of it myself, and I still do it to this very day because I'm lazy. But even so, I would prevent from doing that because this here brings more ambience to the build itself, and back there it brings more ambience to the build itself than spamming torches like this. Do you want your world to look like that? Absolutely not. So you want to strategically place the lighting in a way that would make your builds look more efficient and clean. If this one wasn't obvious enough, don't make your roof flat. That's a no-no. Unless it's a modern house, and that's completely fine. But besides that, it's a complete no-no. At least add like the most basic roof even. And if it's flat, like on a city building, then you can add some fans and some solar panels to make it interesting. Just don't make your roof flat. Please. I'm begging you. Anyways, I think that's all for today's video, actually. And these are 5 building tips that I usually remind myself when I'm a beginner builder, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you are a beginner builder and want to learn how to build, please comment some ideas or questions on how to build things, and I will make sure you know how to build things. But I did hope at least one of these tips helped you guys, if not all of them. But yeah, anyways, see you guys in the next one.